we're going to go on. We got two more things to get to. We got Dak Prescott and Trevor Siemian, but we're going to start with Dak Prescott. And Mark, I don't know about you. I was talking with Dave before the fast break on Saturday, and I literally think that we are overhyping Dak Prescott. We are overhyping him. He is not as good as everyone thinks it seems. And it's one of those things where it's like, have I seen some good things from Dak Prescott? Yeah. But he's not going to step in day one and do what Tony Romo was going to do for this team.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. There's a few ways you can kind of look at it. You can kind of look at it in a Russell Wilson kind of way of the guy that nobody gave any respect to. He was very undervalued, came in, won a starting job. Of course, in this case, Russell Wilson won the job, and Dak Prescott got lucky, and Tony Romo got injured.
He has the opportunity to Tom Brady.
But he's given this opportunity here, and, undervalued, and can go out there and just be a great athlete and a great player. I don't want to say that Dak Prescott has all the skills that Russell Wilson has, because he doesn't. But at the same time, there are certain moments in a man's life where the perfect storm of things happen. And this is, if we had a camera, it would zoom in on me while I'm sitting on a rock and I got my leg up. But this is one of those moments for Dak Prescott. This is the perfect storm. Yet another injury for Tony Romo. He's old anyways. This team is good right now. They got one of the hottest running backs out there. They got one of the best wide receivers out there. They have the best offensive line in football. Yeah, the defense it's still a little weak, especially the defensive line. But we're not going to worry about that right now. There are good pieces, a lot of good pieces. This team was nowhere near as bad as they were last year. It is a perfect storm for him to come in, do good enough to end the Tony Romo era. To end it. And Dak Prescott, this team might not be an 8-8 team, but this team with Dak Prescott still 7 wins. I mean, they're still going to be right there.
I got him 7-9.
Yeah, they're still at least a 7-win team. He can go out there, do enough, as long as he's smart, and he's proven to be pretty damn smart so far in the preseason. Yeah, he's only playing second and third stringers, and yes, there is way too much hype around the Dak attack, but it's not too often that you get excited about a rookie. And this is one of those moments where the fans of the Dallas Cowboys have a legitimate reason to be excited about this guy. And he's not going to be as amazing as people are saying, but I think he can be pretty good. And I think he's got a very real chance to end the Tony Romo era in Dallas, because this man keeps getting hurt. He's not getting any younger. We got a young guy. If he comes out there and he impresses, I think the job is going to be his.
Here's my big thing with the whole Dak Prescott thing is it's preseason, people. It is fucking preseason. Like, yeah, I get it. Preseason's important for the fucking guys who play last preseason game and fight for a spot. Then preseason's important. If you're Tom Brady, you're Peyton Manning, well, he's retired, you're Aaron Rodgers, you're a starter, preseason doesn't matter. Fuck it. I wouldn't even play. I do the Adrian Peterson thing. I'll see you week 1 because I just don't want to get injured. That's like Tony Romo was an idiot for getting tackled and then wanting to get back in that game. I would have been like, my day is done. Put some bubble wrap around me with some ice. I'm going to lay down.
But Tony Romo's a competitor.
But the thing with Dak Prescott that I think of is we're crowning his ass before we should crown his ass, because the thing that you got to notice...
But if you want to crown his ass,
no. It's one of those things where, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I want to say it was during our Teddy Bridgewater conversation, was quarterbacks, it comes down to, you can be as athletic as you want, but when it comes to the regular season, it's about what you have above the shoulders. Quarterbacks who come up to the line can make the reads. Like, you see the veteran quarterbacks come up, they come up to the line, they do all the, I'm pointing stuff out, point, and then they hike it. You usually see a young quarterback come up to the line, and I'm not saying all young quarterbacks, but most of them, come up to the line, look, hike. No pre-reads. And this is the thing with preseason, you're not even getting the exotic looks yet. You're getting just basic vanilla stuff. So great. I'm glad Dak Prescott can perform against the vanilla because I want to see what he can do against the chocolate, the strawberry, the rocky road, everything that's going to be thrown at him when teams are trying to trick you with different reads. When we actually get to the season, no one's going to play their hand in preseason. Nobody's going to tell you what they're doing. And yeah, you can say, well, Ricky, he's not going to see some of these teams when he gets to the regular season. Yeah, but people have tape of everything now. And it's one of those things where I think we're crowning him way too soon. I'm under the, with me, my impression, let's see how he plays a couple regular season. Let me see after the first, I'll give him 2 games. Show me what you got against the Giants. Show me what you got against the Redskins. Because I'll tell you what, the Redskins, they made a huge, huge addition to their cornerbacking core with Josh Norman. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder. And that Giants team, Sean Anderson, can say whatever he wants, Dave Oster, whatever they want about how the Giant defense ain't that good. They put a lot of fucking money into that defense with Olivier. You got Janoris Jenkins, to quote 2 of them that they paid. You get past those teams and show me what you had in the preseason, then I will start to respect you a little bit.
But he definitely showed signs. It's not his fault that he played second and third stringers.
No, I know.
It's not his fault.
But it's one of those things where it's like, let's pump the brakes a little bit because he's seeing the bland vanilla defense.
But he did get to have, he showed flashes of when he was blitzed, he recognized the blitz, he was comfortable, he actually, still was able to throw the ball, still be able to get completions out there. He showed what you want, which is really a quarterback that's comfortable, quarterback that is aware of what's happening around him and understands what he needs to do then. And he's an athletic guy who can therefore, make decisions if he needs to run, if he needs to escape, if he needs to pull Russell Wilson when, move around so that way he can actually buy some time. In Russell Wilson's case, buy about 10, 12, 15 seconds. Then that's really good. But I think that Dak Prescott has shown enough to deserve our respect coming into the season. We don't need to say that he's the next second coming like a lot of people think he is.
Then that's why I'm probably a little bit more heated than I should be, because everybody, to quote the late Dennis Green, if you want to crown his ass, crown his ass.
Exactly.
And that's basically what we're doing. We're crowning his ass before he's even played a regular season down.
Yeah, and people are going to be upset when he doesn't live up to all of that hype, of course.
Oh, he's not going to.
But I think that
money on it.
He'll do well enough, and people will be glad that he's there in Dallas, and I think that he's got himself a good future in Dallas.
Here's the good thing about the Dak Prescott situation. It's not all on him. That is the biggest positive. He's got the best offensive line in the league. He's got the best, one of the top running backs because he is a rookie, and we got to see how Zeke does in the regular season as well.
At least one of the most exciting.
But I would put a lot more excitement behind Zeke than Dak Prescott because with Zeke, I don't think it's all hype. I think there's something actually there. And then you got one of the top wide receivers in the game in Dez Bryant. Exactly. So it's kind of hard to be like, oh, well, he does have the weapons.
This isn't last year.
Yeah. He's got the weapons. And it's like that's why I still have you guys, Cowboy fans, I'm talking to you. That's why I still have you at 7-9. Yeah, you're going to get Romo back hopefully for the end of the season, but Dak Prescott the biggest thing that hinders Dak Prescott early in the year is the schedule. It's the teams that you guys play because I'm just using week 6 as the barometer. I think those first 2 games are losses. Giants and Redskins, I think that first game is going to be a lot different than the preseason. It's going to catch him off guard. I think the Giants are going to go out in there and actually capitalize. The Redskins, was I originally high on them, and because of injuries they got into my playoffs? Yeah, but I think at home they can beat you. The Bears, that's a question mark. I gave it to the Bears, but I could see Dak Prescott beating Jay Cutler. You beat the Niners.
The Bears do have a little bit of trouble with athletic quarterbacks.
You beat the Niners, no problem, but then you got the Bengals and the Packers. So it's like, to me, 4 of those games are, to me, automatic losses.
And I think that, people can say whatever they want, but I think that, week 8 is the earliest Tony Romo can show up again. And that's right after the bye week, coincidentally. Because they're saying it's like 6 to 10 weeks until he's able to practice. Mm-hmm. So if we want to put a nice little middle in there, he can come in at week 8 to get ready to practice. It is a while. Let's just play the game, Ricky, because I think it'll be fun.
Okay.
Let's say the Dallas Cowboys with Dak Prescott, they beat the Giants. They beat the Redskins. They beat the Bears, 49ers. I'll let them lose to maybe the Bengals or the Packers. So they've won at least 4, maybe 5 games. They have a bye week. Tony Romo is potentially coming back. What are you going to do? Dak Prescott's been good. But Tony Romo, he's here. He's still maybe a little sore, maybe a little banged up. Maybe he's feeling pretty good, though. Do you want to risk the Peyton Manning type of situation where you end up losing Brock Osweiler altogether? Of course,
no.
Contracts are different in this case, so that's not quite the scenario.
It's completely different.
But
now I'm going to cut you off.
The animosity of it.
No, I'm going to come in.
Then go ahead and
cut
talk.
you off. Completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I do. Tony Romo, you're coming back. It's your job. Thank Dak. Hit the bench for a little bit. We appreciate what you did, but it's time to step aside. You call Romo over. You say, hey, you know what? You get injured one more time, we know what we got. You're done. One more injury. That means no more fighting for extra yards. That means playing smart. That means being a pocket guy. You get it. It's on you, Tony. You get injured one more time, we got him. Let Dak know. He gets injured one more time, you're the guy. That way there is no animosity like Brock the Cock. You're putting that trust in Dak to...
But not enough to let him continue playing.
No, yeah, but it's one of those things where, hey, Romo's good. Let's be honest. This team was really good. It probably wasn't all you. You weren't the second coming of Jesus Christ. Tony gets the job. One more injury. He's done. You're the future. You are the future. If that's the case, it's Tony has the job. He's probably going to get injured again. You are the future. One more injury and Tony's done.
But then if you know that there's probably going to be another injury, and you're telling Tony Romo, hey, I know that injuries aren't your fault really, but if you get hurt, we're cutting you. I'm not cutting you, but we're benching you.
I am not getting rid of Tony Romo if he's able to come back this season. I am playing him.
Even if it was like week 13 and Dak Prescott has won 10 games.
I'm playing him.
Won 9 games, something like that.
Playing him. Playing Tony Romo.
I think you're being incredibly, incredibly prideful right now.
I'm playing Tony Romo.
I think that's a little ridiculous. If Dak Prescott can go out there and win me 9 games in Week 13 against the Vikings,
it ain't gonna
Tony
happen.
Romo's out there ready.
This is all moot because it's not going to happen.
I'm just saying,
win 9 games in.
I don't know.
9 games in 10 weeks. You said
no, Week 13. And he's won 9 games. So they played 12. They've lost 3 games.
So they're 9-3. That ain't gonna happen. They'll probably be 500 at best.
I don't know, man. They can beat the Giants because the Giants are their own worst enemy. The Redskins, I don't believe in. The Bears, you're concerned about their depth issues and injuries.
I did
San Francisco, that's an easy win because it's San Francisco. I'm letting them lose to the Bengals. I'm letting them lose to the Green Bay Packers. We both think that the Eagles are one of the worst teams out there.
See, but here's the thing with the Eagles, with the Eagles, it's one of those things where now with Dak Prescott in there, I gave him the split.
Yeah.
I gave him the split.
But this is the home game. This is the home game.
But they won Dak Prescott, lost Tony Romo. That's how I looked at it.
So then they get to play the Browns. Probably a pretty easy win.
Browns could, I'm not high on Dak Prescott. I am not high on Dak Prescott.
But
everybody's overhyping him.
I'm just saying they have winnable games here.
They do. They're winnable.
So you're laughing at 9-3, but I only see 3 games they can probably lose, maybe 4. I'll maybe give you a fourth one.
I think those divisional games are a lot more sided to the losing side than you may think. Yeah, the Giants are their own worst enemy, but that was the Tom Coughlin
and it's the
Giants.
home game. Though too.
However, it's a rookie quarterback week 1 in the NFL.
It's also a rookie head coach and a completely new defense.
A total veteran quarterback.
Sure, but a completely new paid for defense. Those don't really adjust too well. It takes a while.
I'll take the rookie head coach who was an offensive coordinator on that team last year over the rookie quarterback who's getting his first look at a regular season game.
Sure.
Because let's put it this way. Not every rookie can come in and be Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was the anomaly.
The anomaly, even though Cam Newton did really well, even though RG3 did really well, even though Russell Wilson did really well, even though Colin Kaepernick did really well. I know he wasn't a rookie, but it was his first time playing in the NFL.
But with him, he sat for how long? Like Aaron Rodgers, you can't use him as an example because he sat there and learned the pace of an offense. Jimmy Garoppolo, if he comes out and blows it out week 1, and I mean in a good way, not like his ACL, you can't use that argument because he sat there and learned the pace. I'm not saying learned under Tom Brady. We know that
Tom Brady's not letting anybody
happen.
learn under him.
It's like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But I use Andrew Luck because he was the recent one. You could throw Cam out there. You could throw Russell Wilson out there.
RG3 as well.
I say Andrew Luck because he was the number 1 pick, going to be the franchise.
Yeah.
He's the guy we take. That's why Cam Newton could also be that because he was the number 1 pick. RG3, you can't. Russell Wilson, you can't. They weren't number 1 picks. That's what I'm saying, though.
Although number 2 pick, I mean, a lot
but I'm saying coming out of college, being the guy saying he is our franchise.
Yeah.
He's this, like when Andrew Luck came out, we were comparing him to John Elway kind of success.
I mean, the obvious comparison, of course, to Peyton Manning.
Yeah. And I mean, it's to me, I think Dak Prescott, in the end, we got to pump the brakes. We got to wait how he sees in the regular season.
But at the same time, I do want it to be known that looking at the schedule, it's possible he can go in there and only lose like 2, 3, 4 games.
7-9. That's what I mean.
Not for the whole schedule, but I'm saying their toughest games are Bengals, are Packers, Steelers. I mean, Vikings aren't as tough anymore without Teddy Bridgewater.
Going into the bye, I'll give you 2-4. I'll give you 2-4. I'll give you the Bears and the Niners. I will flip that Bears game. I don't think the Bengals are a win. I don't think the Packers.
Well, I'm not saying the Bengals and the Packers are wins, but I'm saying that Giants at home, with the Cowboys playing at home, I think that can be a win.
It's winnable, but I'm going to say
especially with the
25%
Giants have very, very little tape on Dak Prescott. I think they're not going to know exactly what to expect out of the guy. Because you're saying defenses haven't shown you the real thing, but Dak Prescott also hasn't shown you the real thing.
9 times out of 10, I'll take the veteran quarterback over the rookie.
Sure, I understand where you're coming from, but all I am trying to kind of get out there, and then we can call this one a day, unless you have anything else to add, is that, yes, we should pump the brakes, but at the same time, we're not saying he's going 16-0 or anything like that, or that he's just going to go out there and break some records. But I'm just saying, once again, the Cowboys, much like the Vikings, are not in as bad of shape as everybody thinks. Dak Prescott can go out there and win quite a few games. He's got a lot of support out there, but that's not his fault that he's got a lot of support. He can go out there and win a lot of games. A 36-year-old quarterback right now in Tony Romo, one who has had a history of long injuries. Eventually, the Dallas Cowboys might want to sit there and think, if we got a guy who's doing well, maybe we do ride the hot hand. Even if it's just saying that Tony Romo, he comes in at week 13, week 14, dude, just rest that back. We want you for next year to do well.
Okay. This is where you guys come down below. Let us know everything. I probably pissed off Cowboy fans because they're like, oh, Dick's my boy.
Cowboy fans, I got you.
But let us know down below what you guys think, Cowboy fans and anybody who is listening to this podcast.